I almost lost my nose in the process. I am finally telling this story. I have wanted to film this video for so long. I don't know why I didn't. I think I was probably embarrassed more than anything because it's quite bad. If there is one cosmetic procedure I would not recommend, it's the fox eye lift, especially speaking from my own experiences. I went through hell. So this was back in 2021, I want to say. Thing is, I didn't just get a fox eye lift. I lifted my entire face, basically. I'm going to show you pictures and videos along the way, and it's just not good. So this was back in 2021, I think. I was scrolling through TikTok and I kept coming across the fox eye lift, and I kept seeing it, and apparently it was what all the celebrities had, like Bella Hadid. I think that might be it. No, it was one of those procedures that apparently every celebrity had done, but they just hadn't admitted it, which I'm starting to think is a bit of a scam now. So before booking it, I researched the procedure and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. Also, I was in the midst of filming a glow up video on my YouTube channel, and I was like, this will be a great treatment to add to it. I'm gonna put the clips of me getting it done from that video in this video, but I filmed that video, got the fox eye lift. I thought everything was fine and dandy, ended the video, but it was the aftermath where it really hit me and where it went wrong and it got infected. It gets quite disturbing, actually. If you don't know what they do for a fox eye lift, they'll go in with a thread here and it'll come out here and they will pull it so your eye goes like this. The thread that they use is similar to eyebrow threading threads. I don't know if it actually is, but that's what it felt like was underneath my skin when I was getting it done, and it was just, the feeling, it was just so disturbing and horrible. To be honest, I'd be lying if I said I did hours of research. A lot of you guys know me and know how I am by now. I just don't do research and I just go for it. I personally like to call it living in the moment and being spontaneous and a free spirit, but others would call it being dumb, stupid, and irresponsible. I can see both sides. This was 2 years ago, and I feel like I've matured a lot in those 2 years because I've had some things happen to me. I've been through some things. Like, I'm a different person now. With the fox eye lift, I knew instantly who I would be going to, which was this clinic on Harley Street. And if you don't know what Harley Street is, it's like the most famous cosmetic surgery street in London. It's just a street filled with cosmetic surgery places. And I had followed this page on Instagram that was renowned for their fox eye lift for so long. Hopefully it doesn't go wrong, otherwise I'll cry. Okay, Harley Street. I forgot that this place is really bougie. I think I'm kind of scared. I'm not gonna say their name because I can't be bothered to get sued. Just don't get the fox eye lift done. I'd seen all their before and afters and it really made me want to get it done. And when I decided I was getting it done, I knew I'd be going straight to them. So I did. Big mistake. I get there, I sit down, and I say to the woman that I want PDO threads in 3 different places on my face. I went all in. I didn't just get a fox eye lift, I got it done in 3 different areas of my face. I don't think I included one of the areas in the video because I didn't want you guys to judge me too hard for it. So I have a confession to make. I did something bad. I may have also got a fox eye lift. But I didn't film the procedure because I wasn't going to share it because I couldn't be bothered for all the backlash I was going to get. My eyebrows are glued to my temple right now, which probably was a sign that I shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. But if you look on the YouTube video, you can see I have numbing cream here on my face. That's because I was getting PDO threads there. So I got a fox eye lift done, which is supposed to lift your eyes. I also got PDO threads done on my nose. I just had an injection in my nose. Worst pain I've ever experienced. I basically just wanted it more symmetrical and to lift the tip. I felt like my face looked very creased and swollen around this area. So I got PDO threads to like pull this section of my face back. So yeah, got it all done at once. Oh my God. First, I'm actually getting flashbacks. So the first thing that happens is she injects my nose to make it numb. And this pain, guys, when I say I have a high pain tolerance, I have a very high pain tolerance. Lip filler, I'd rate the pain 2 out of 10. When she injected my nose with this numbing cream, the pain, my eyes instantly was streaming with water, would not stop, like just crying. I was genuinely crying in the chair. She injects the tip of my nose. This is just the numbing stuff, by the way. I hadn't even made it into the surgery room at this point. So I go in the room, there's like a dentist looking chair. I sit down, eyes still streaming from the pain. I had numbing cream here and here as well. I lay down and the surgery was about to begin, or the treatment. When I say surgery, it makes it seem a lot more intense than it is. I'm not passed out, I'm wide awake during the whole process. So the first thing she does is a fox eye lift. We start with that. And that was quite painful, but nowhere near the pain on my nose. Nowhere near. It was just really uncomfortable, because if you don't know what the concept of it is, they basically put a thread through your skin here, comes out here, then they just pull it so your face does that. But the thread that they use feels like eyebrow threads. You know, with the little teeth on it, so it grips to the hair and yanks it out. It felt exactly like I had that underneath my skin and it was being pulled. At the end of the fox eye lift, I was led there and it felt like my eyebrows were glued to my temples. And then it was time for this area. To be honest, this area was the same vibe as the fox eye lift. They're very like similar areas, so there's not much to say on that. And then it came time to do my nose threads. Guys, I'm actually like struggling because it was really horrible, this surgery. Just the pain and the aftermath is just horrible PTSD. It was a very traumatic experience, honestly. The idea of it was just kind of traumatizing. I just want to say, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please press the subscribe button. Apparently like 60% of you that watch my videos aren't subscribed. Heartbreaking, truly heartbreaking. So with the nose threads, she goes in underneath the nose here, right in between your nostrils here, and then it comes out on the very tip of your nose, and she does the same thing again, pulls it so that your nose goes up like this. The pain that I felt during that procedure on the nose was different. The nose is such a sensitive area. I would have rather got a nose job. I swear to God, I would have rather got a nose job because I would have been passed out and wouldn't have felt anything. This, I was feeling everything. That numbing injection did nothing. And if it did do something and make me numb, I would have died without the numbing injection or passed out. And when she pulls the thread out, she then cuts it so that you can't see the thread, or at least you're not supposed to see the thread. Before I tell you about the aftermath, let me just tell you how much I spent. Hello, slight intermission. So one of the main lessons I learned from this is that it's probably best to keep things all natural. That brings me on to Skin and Me, who have kindly sponsored this video. I love Skin and Me. You guys know by now, I've worked with them for way over a year. They just do the most unreal skincare. So this is Skin and Me's iconic daily doser. When you first go onto the Skin and Me website, you're met with like a consultation. It asks you questions about your skin and what your skin goals are. And by the end of it, you have your very own personalized daily doser on its way to your doorstep, specialized completely to you and your own skin needs. It's basically packed full of the active ingredients that you need to achieve your skin goals. One great thing about the daily doser is it releases just the right amount every night, so you don't have to worry about using too much or too little product. But also, there is a brand new addition to the family. Skin and Me have just brought out their new oil-free Daily Defense SPF 50 sun cream. That was a lot of words. I've been using this on my face this holiday and it's actually left with such a lovely little glow on my skin. It contains vitamin E and niacinamide, so that probably explains it. I feel like when I'm on holiday and my skin's clear and it's glowing, that's just the peak of my existence. Oh, it's also designed by dermatologists and it protects your skin from aging UVA rays and also UVB damage, which are the main causes of skin cancer and aging. When I use normal sun cream on my face and then put makeup on afterwards, it just slips right off, but with this, it just holds it in place. It's like a great primer for makeup. We're not done yet though. You also have a cleanser and a moisturizer that you can use with all the other products. I basically have a 3-step morning routine, so I cleanse, moisturize, and then protect. And then I of course go in with my daily doser, but that's not until nighttime. I'll leave a link in the description to try Skin and Me if any of you guys are interested. You can also use my code Millie SPF to get your first daily doser for $4.99 and a free trial of the new Daily Defense sun cream as well. If you're already a Skin and Me member, all you need to do is log in, select add to box, and your free sun cream trial will be on its way. I did not expect it to be anywhere near this price. The treatment finishes, I go to pay, and it cost me £2,100. Now this is completely my fault because basically I didn't intend on getting all 3 areas done until last minute. I thought I was just getting the fox eye lift and I think that was about £600 by itself, so I didn't really do the calculations properly. I thought that the fox eye lift would be way more expensive than the other areas, but that's where I just presumed and didn't double check. That is a crazy amount of money to pay for what I got done because the results did absolutely fuck all. It's not even permanent changes. It literally lasts for like a year tops. One thing though, the nose threads and fox eye lift, I can't tell if it's made that much of a difference once it's healed. I feel like it's not really done anything, and I spent so much money on that as well, like a disgusting amount of money. I did not realize it was that expensive until it was too late. So I leave the clinic, I look at myself in the mirror, or I'm filming for my YouTube video and I look at myself and I cannot believe the scenes. I look hideous. Obviously it takes a bit to heal before it goes down to like the final results, but it just wasn't a look. Like, it really wasn't. Someone commented and said that I look like a blonde Michael Jackson, which is so accurate, so I can't even be mad. With the fox eye lift, I regret getting that because I didn't like the results, and also the results lasted about 2 months before it went down to absolutely nothing. As for the cheeks, barely noticed a difference in that at all. The fox eye lift had healed fine, which I was so lucky about, by the way, because people have awful experiences getting a fox eye lift. Like, it gets infected and stuff. I'll throw up some pictures on the screen of like people's experiences getting that done. One thing with the fox eye lift is my skin did ripple a little bit afterwards. It healed fine, but it was just like a ripple effect on the side of my eyes. So that meant for quite a while I couldn't wear my hair down because I didn't want people to see this section, because they'd be like, what did you get done? I just found it a little bit embarrassing, to be honest. The nose. No. Oh, the nose. It was always the nose, wasn't it, from the get-go? My nose was not healing whatsoever, like at all. I had a little dot on the end of my nose. Not a little dot, it looked like a spot, but it was red and inflamed, and it kept getting worse. And then this area, the other entry point for the thread, was also red and hurt. And every time I felt my nose, it felt like there was something sticking out of it a little bit, but I thought that it was just a spot. I leave it for a few days, just thinking that it's part of the healing process. I wasn't sure. And then like 3 weeks later, it's just getting worse. There is no sign of improvement at all. It's so painful, so inflamed. And then I'm like, Millie, you need to go back to the clinic and get it sorted before it gets worse. She didn't cut the thread short enough. She left it too long, so my nose couldn't heal over the thread because it was sticking out. And because she did that, my nose was rejecting this surgery massively. I am so grateful for it not being any worse than it actually was. It could have gone so bad. And you know what the worst thing about this whole experience is? The woman that did it did not care whatsoever. She did not care. She treated me like I was a 12-year-old. I go back to the clinic, I sit down in the same seat that I got the nose numbing injection done, and I look at her and I'm like, something's wrong, my nose is really inflamed. On my life, she looks at me and she goes, she like feels my nose and she goes, oh, bless you, it's not quite right, is it? And I'm like, yeah, it's not quite right, you did it. I didn't say that. Obviously I led that and I was like, no, it's not good. I can't be confrontational like that. Like, I'm getting better at it now. I can't, oh, some time and places, but like that situation, like, no. Anyway, she takes a pair of scissors, cuts it down, so painful again, so painful. Eyes streaming once again. I just leave, and I can't explain her energy. Basically, she was dripped out in Cartier. She was so rich. She owns her own clinic in Harley Street. She is so rich. So I don't think she really gave a fuck. Her Instagram page has loads of followers. Like, she's making money. She probably looked at me and was like, she ain't gonna sue me, so I'm just not gonna make this a big deal, and she's not gonna see it as a big deal either. It's a big deal. I could have lost my nose. I put my trust in your hands. I still have a scar on my nose and it will never go away. It's like a little dent in my nose. It's not too obvious when I have makeup on, but in direct sunlight you can see it. Obviously the scar's tiny, I'm not too bothered about it, but like, she really did mess up for it to leave a scar like that. This is where it actually gets disturbing as well. So I go back home and it's still not healing. It's still so red and so inflamed. And I remember one time I looked in the mirror and I was really analysing my nose, and the spot on the end of it just looked like it was ready to burst. And then I looked down at this section and there's also, it's like a bit orange yellow underneath. So I look in the mirror and I just get my nose and I do this and I just squeeze it, and I keep squeezing and squeezing. A little bit of liquid comes out and then I do it again. Threads fire out of my nose. I couldn't believe it. There was white threads coming out bit by bit, just coming out of my nose. To be honest, it was mad satisfying. Like, it was really satisfying to do, but also that is not right at all. But also it needed to come out. But why is it doing that? What the heck? That's not normal. That is my body rejecting it. But when your body rejects something, it can reject it in a really bad way. Like, my whole nose could have fallen off. I'm so grateful that my body just rejected it like that. And then I go to the under part of my nose and I just start squeezing that. I don't even know how I squeezed it. I was just like squishing it down, I think. Threads were firing out, but she only used one thread, which is why it's confusing why I was pulling out so many, but I think they must have disintegrated. But then it was also kind of satisfying because I felt like it needed to go. Do you know what I mean? I felt my body just releasing it. What a waste of money though. And after I did that and got everything out, it finally started to heal. I don't think my body would have rejected it if she had cut the thread to the right length to begin with. I think my body rejected it because the thread was too long. It couldn't heal and it it kept trying to heal and it was like, what is going on here? I think that when she cut the thread for the second time, it still wasn't short enough, like it was still sticking out a bit. That's what she did. Oh, sorry, I'm just remembering now as I'm telling the story. When she was cutting this thread, she was pushing the thread so much that I could feel it poking, like this section, like the entry point. Do you know what I mean? I could feel it poking it. It was very uncomfortable, quite painful, but I just left her to do what she does best, apparently. But by doing that, she then irritated this section, and this section was still irritated. Anyway, moral of the story is just don't do what I do, ever, really. Hello again, me from a different location. Just wanted to remind you guys to check out Skin and Me. There's a link in the description. Remember that if you use my code MillieSPF, you get your first daily doser for £4.99, and also a free trial of the new Daily Defense sun cream. After using this on my face, I'm never going back to normal sun cream. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't get a fox eye lift, please don't. It's just not a good idea. If after watching this video you want to get a fox eye lift, there's something wrong with you. Just don't do it, please. Bye.